It's the 3rd of November and I'm Tom Glasson. Welcome to The Roast. Tonight, Brisbane makes its final preparations for the G20 summit and a new IPCC report is released. I'll save you the time. It's the same as all their other reports. The Earth is dying, climate change is irreversible, something must be done, Maybe the next report they release after we've done nothing will be better. So I'll just wait.
Tom, while you're waiting, do you mind if I give you a tattoo?
Terrific. How about the Roast logo?
Well, I'm not qualified, but I have been drinking, so I am full of confidence.
Let's go. Hey, Permanent damage to the environment, permanent shift in dangerous emissions, permanent extinction for animals. Honestly, United Nations, not everything permanent is bad, like my tattoo. How's it looking?
I'm doing it backwards, so when you see it in the mirror, it looks normal.
Oh, sick. It'll look so great with my ABC Forever tat that I got last night. Yeah. Anyway, here's Mark Humphries with the headlines. Oh!
We begin with the Victorian election, where Premier Denis Napthine, seen here praying he won't get shat on, looks likely to lose to Labor leader Daniel Andrews, seen here knowing he will get shat on. The latest polls show Labor with a 56 to 44% lead over the coalition government, meaning Premier Napthine may soon have to go back to his old job, pretending he's an aeroplane. Nevertheless, Dr. Napthine is pushing ahead with his campaign.
As the Premier of Victoria, I'll put Victorian families and Victorian interests first, second and third.
As for the people of Victoria, it looks like they'll be putting the Napthine government second or third. Prime Minister Tony Abbott, aka Big Daddy, joined Napthine at a press conference on Friday, where he didn't so much shirt front Napthine as he did shirt grope him.
My relationship with the Prime Minister is a positive relationship.
And that's why you shake hands, kids. But if you think that was weird, you should have seen what was going on under the lectern.
Positive relationship.
The weird hug continues Abbott's national campaign to creep out everyone in the country.
I'm the guy with the not bad-looking daughter, isn't that right?
And I work on an adult sex line to make ends meet.
I think I can probably say I have a bit of sex appeal.
Contact never had any.
In fairness, Napthine can be pretty weird himself.
Happy birthday, big boy.
Melbourne Cup Day is tomorrow. In other words, some horses only have a day to live. A horse with a ridiculous name is the favourite, followed closely by another horse with a ridiculous name and something Bart Cummings. And finally, The Roast, the show that proves anyone can be on television, will not be coming back to the ABC next year. But don't worry, if you want to watch a ridiculous parody of a news show, you'll still have this. The show's host, Tom Glasson, seen here when he was blissfully ignorant, is excited about moving on to greener pastures.
Ah! Wait, what? But this is my only pasture. Oh.
It's still unclear what show will replace The Roast on ABC2, but being ABC2, we can assume the current frontrunners include insightful documentaries like I Married My Staircase, My Penis is a White-Collar Criminal, and Dawn Porter, I Almost Fell Over in the Shower Today. For those worried about filling the void left by The Roast, don't worry, there's all these other shows that provide new satire on a daily basis. For The Roast, I'm Mark Humphries.
This'll just come out with a little bit of bleach, yeah? These things can't get any worse.
Tom, are you done with that needle? The junkie I borrowed off wants it back.
Oh. Now to the G20, and no, I'm not talking about the rap choir group I formed in high school featuring me and 19 other Gs. Making it a choir was just the first mistake of many. No, the G20, a gathering of world leaders to discuss important issues, specifically money. Because despite our best efforts, it doesn't grow on trees. Grow, damn it, I only have 1 week left in this job. Can't believe I spent my last $100 on that magic seed. Now, the 20 countries involved represent a staggering 85% of the global gross domestic product, or roughly just the amount you need to get away with f***ing everything up for the rest of the world. And the G20 summit plans to make even more money by making it easier to build stuff, making it easier to sell stuff, and taking the Tony Abbott red tape cutting tour worldwide. But it isn't just money. Also on the agenda, gender. Australia has set a target to reduce the worldwide gender gap by 25% by 2025 and create 100 million new jobs for women. And I actually know a workplace that could use a few more women. The G20! This photo features nearly more 1 in a million landmarks than women. But what's it like at ground zero? Well, Alex Lee is in Brisbane and she joins us now.
Tom, Brisbane is readying itself for the parade of glamorous world leaders who will soon descend on this Queensland city like the cast of The Little Rascals all grown up. It's like a school camp for world leaders, except no one is having fun and the weekend summit will come at a cost of $400 million. A lot of which goes towards paying for security exercises in the lead up to the big day, such as 6,000 police officers and a mock world leader who simulated the arrival of foreign diplomats.
Fake dignitaries? Wow, they've thought of everything.
Well, not everything. The fake VIPs were meant to have received a floral bouquet when they got off the plane, but a tree branch was used when it became apparent that someone had forgotten to order the flowers.
Wow, $400 million does not buy what it used to.
Well, there were other things we had to splash out on, like $150,000 for a conference table.
A table cost 150 grand?
No, the table cost 70 grand. The 150 grand was just the cost of getting the table to Brisbane.
Oh.
But it was worth it to see that look of despair in the eyes of Brisbane's table-making community.
Yeah. Now, Alex, according to one charity, the cost of this summit is more than double what Australia has pledged to humanitarian crises in Syria, Iraq, South Sudan, Ebola-ridden West Africa and the Typhoon Haiyan-affected Philippines combined.
Yes, but none of those countries are invited to the party, Tom. We'll send them a consolation stick.
Thank you, Alex. Just a couple of follow-up questions with the fake dignitary. Was that his real wife or did they audition for her too? Because you can't fake the kind of chemistry that comes between President and his wife pretending to be happy for the cameras. We'll be right back.
Have you ever cast actors as fake foreign leaders? Are you still hiring? Because I know how to walk off a plane and accept a stick. I'll accept the shit out of that stick. We'd love to hear about it. Or any other work you have on offer. At The Roast TV or hashtag RoastTV.
Now, the timing of the G20 could not be better because the United Nations Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has released its latest report. And I'm afraid to say, Earth, we're going to need to talk to your parents because you are not performing well.
It warns greenhouse gas levels are at their highest they have been in 800,000 years, with recent increases mostly due to the burning of fossil fuels.
800,000 years? The environment hasn't been this bad since those money-obsessed, paranthropus biped mining billionaires. Thanks for f***ing up our future, assholes. Now, thankfully, the government has stepped in to help.
The Abbott government has reluctantly agreed to discuss climate change at the G20 summit in Brisbane, but is concerned that cluttering the G20 agenda could risk squandering the opportunity to make a difference in the vital area of economic growth.
Yeah, and it would be a shame if we prolonged the life of the planet at the cost of slowed economic growth. So it's a good thing that climate change is only going to be referenced as a single, brief paragraph of the G20 leaders' communique. But look, the G20 is an economic meeting, so should climate change be discussed there at all? For more, let's turn to Jazz Twemlow.
Should global warming be discussed at the G20? So far, the Australian government has boldly shrugged off the fate of the entire planet on the basis that the G20 is primarily an economic forum. Yes, global warming won't affect the economy of the G20 countries because when it indiscriminately engulfs everything, they'll simply disengage from Earth's overheated cadaver and form a new environment-free paradise island in space. But some countries like the US don't fancy moving to Space Island. It's almost as if they've realised that at a forum focusing on the economy, perhaps it's a good idea to mention the planet the economy happens on. I'm here on the Pacific island of Kiribati. It's literally disappearing beneath the ocean. Now, some would argue that one fundamental aspect of the economy is not having a population being consumed by the waves. But Tony Abbott disagrees. He thinks the fundamentals of the economy are trade, infrastructure, tax and banking. They've got all the fundamentals here, it's just that soon you'll need a scuba diving licence to access them. Following Tony Abbott's logic, I'd assume countries that do factor climate change into their economies ought to be doing terribly, like Germany, a cesspit of economic decay.
We actually get almost 31% of our energy from renewable resources.
Right, and how's that working out for you?
We are an economic powerhouse.
Oh, yeah, good. Well, keep it up then, I guess.
Breathe in the air, it's so beautifully clean.
Oh, yeah, Jesus, don't rub it in. Oh, God, that is beautiful. For The Roast, I'm Jazz Twemlow. Oh.
Thank you, Jazz. So, G20, unless you plan on moving us all to Space Island, nothing is going to be more economically influential than the giant problem you've just shrunk down to a single paragraph in the official G20 communique. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to crack the money tree so I can get myself to Space Island.
Here you go.
Hey.
Hey.
Do you know we're not coming back to the ABC?
Yeah, I've known for like a week.
Yeah. Wait, what? A week? So you knew last night when you gave me the ABC Forever tattoo?
Yeah, of course. Good night.
Ah! Stop tattooing me!
What? I'm just making it bigger.